I'm kind of curious, what is the dumbest thing an American has ever said to you?
I'm gonna do this video in English because it's so hilarious and I just want people to know. Because ironically, not many Americans know this. So I went to high school in Florida. When I first got there, I'm Latina, Hispanic. I don't remember if I was in a classroom or at lunch. I think it was before the class started in a classroom. And to some people, even though my English can be okay, gringos can tell I'm a foreigner. Oops. So this white girl that was in front of me, she heard me talking to somebody and she asked where I was from. So I said, oh, I'm from Puerto Rico. And then she went, oh my god, I'm so sorry. Why? It must have been so harsh for you to get here as an immigrant. Not the colonizer not knowing they colonized me. No, I'm an US citizen since 1917 because Puerto Rico was invaded by the US in 1898. But Puerto Rico is not in America. Diablo, que tipa más bestia, holy shit.
When I was last in America, this guy was like, hey man, where's your accent from? And I was like, oh, I'm British. And then he was like, British? It sounds more like Scottish or something. First of all, my accent is very clearly English. It's not Scottish. Second, Scotland is in Great Britain, so a Scottish accent is a British accent anyway.
So I'm American, obviously, but I got a story for you. This one time I was at an audition in Nashville and I was sitting next to this pretty blonde girl. I asked her where she was from and she said, I'm from Alabama. How about you? Nice. I'm from Oklahoma. Huh? I'm from Oklahoma? What is that? Excuse me? What is that? What is it? It's a state. Like in the United States? Yes, in the United States of America. I've never heard of that. You've never heard of Oklahoma? No, where is that? It's like right in the middle of the country. Like right above Texas, you know? Oh. So it's next to California? That is 100% a true story.
Canadian here. Right after I moved to America, I went to the Social Security office so that I could apply for a Social Security number so that I could work in America. I went up to the little kiosk and I punched in that I was applying for my very first Social Security number. And the man who was working there said, excuse me, ma'am, you're going to want to punch in that you're applying for a replacement card, not a new number. And I said, no, sir, I don't have a Social Security number. I am applying for the first time. And he said, and you're an American? And I said, no, sir, I actually just moved here from Canada just a couple of weeks ago. And he said this. Ma'am, I have to say, your English is amazing. Yeah.
After learning my name, people like to ask me where I'm from. And I tell them, I'm from Czech Republic. And then they ask, what do I speak? And so I tell them, I speak Czech. And then they ask me, oh, so you speak Russian? So are you Russian? Czechoslovakia, that's a part of Russia. So you're Russian. So you grew up in the USSR. You're Russian. Do you speak Russian? Do you speak Russian? Do you speak Russian? Do you speak Russian? Говоришь по-русски. Oh yeah, that's right. You must be Russian. No, I'm not. Wrong country, wrong language, and the wrong country.
So I'm gonna just preface this and say I'm from Canada, right? And the one time I ever went to Los Angeles, California, I was somewhere around Santa Monica Beach with my family, and I went to a skate shop and I bought myself a skate deck. And when I told the dude who was working there, who sold me the deck, when I told him I was Canadian, his response, like his mouth dropped and he was like, "You can skateboard in snow?" And I laughed and said, "What do you mean?" And he's like, well, it's a frozen wasteland there, isn't it? And it's like, no, it's sunny, and like there's only snow for 85% of the year. The other 15%, you can skateboard like nothing, right? And he's like, oh, well, if it isn't snowy all the time, how do you live in igloos? I'm not lying at all.
So I'm from Germany, but I've lived in Switzerland for my entire life until 2015 when my family moved to the US. And I spent 2 years living there, so I've heard a lot of dumb shit, but here's the worst of it. So one time I was with a group of people and I was on the phone with my friend in Germany, and when we hung up, I said, "Good night, sleep well." And this guy is like, so he goes, "Why is she going to bed? It's like 3 p.m. And so I had to explain that because she's in Germany, she's 6 hours ahead because of time zones. And he looks really confused, like, and then he asked me if Germany is 6 hours ahead, why did nobody ever warn them about 9/11 happening? This guy literally thought that time zones meant that you could time travel.
Once I was sitting in a bar in Atlanta and this man kept calling me an Arab. And like, I didn't know what an Arab was because Americans can't pronounce shit, man. And so like, I was just staring at him like, what is this dude saying? And I was like, I don't understand your accent. And my American friend said to me, he's calling you an Arab. And I was like, oh. And I turned around and I went, dude, no, I'm Pakistani. This one isn't about me being brown. This one is about me being English. So I was out with my friends at this like pizza place, I think, and some dude came over and he was a friend of my friend. And he was like, do you guys have pizza in the UK? Like seriously, do we have pizza? Like, not even sarcastic. And I was like, oh, you know, they banned pizza in the 80s because the Queen choked on some pizza. And, like, so now you can only buy pizza on the black market. And it's really hard because, like, you don't know the kind of quality they put in the cheese. Sometimes it's, like, rat milk and the vegetables are, like, they come from, like, the trash. And he was like, shit, man, England is rough. Yeah, we don't even have pizza.
So some basic biatch in Costco looked at me and said, go back to your own country. I was with my mom who wears a headscarf. And I was like, honey, I have no accent. And I know there are 50 states in this greater America. Do you know that? Do you know that? Have you written 2 novels, honey? Can you spell tsunami? T-S-U-N-A-M-I. Tsunami, bitch. I mean, give me a break. When you look at foreigners and immigrants in this country and say, go back to your own country, honey, we speak better English than you do, and we have more degrees, count it, degrees, than you can ever get, you basic American from Idaho. Eat your potatoes and shut your mouth.
I'd like to buy this 6-pack of beer, please. Cool, I'll just need to see your ID. Here you go. I can't take that. You can't take my passport? It's not a valid form of ID. You gotta have American ID to buy alcohol in America. It's an American passport. It says my birthplace is Tennessee. You gotta get an American passport to come to America. Everybody knows that. You know that, because you have one. That's not true at all. If you're such an American, why can't you just give me your driver's license? Because my wallet got stolen. And even if I did have that, you can take a passport. Let me go ask my manager if she'll make an exception. Hi, what seems to be the problem here? Your cashier won't let me use my passport as identification to buy beer. Yeah, you gotta have an American ID to buy alcohol in America. But that's really cool, though. I've never seen a passport before. Where are you from? Here!
Do you have Christmas in Ireland? Yes, we do. Do you have Thanksgiving in Ireland? No, we don't. Do you have Halloween in Ireland? We invented the fucking thing!
I have made a video before about the dumb shit Americans have said to me since moving here, and almost every single day, especially when I would work at the movie theatre, I would get people coming up to me, just staring, and being like, I didn't know there were black people from England. Like, okay, keep that shit to yourself, that's embarrassing.
So let's set the scene. It's early July, and I'm in Marrakesh. I've just checked into this hostel and I'm sitting on one of these chairs here by the pool. So this young couple from Georgia sparks up a conversation with me. So the couple invite me up to like the roof, this like roof patio thing to see the fireworks. So we end up on the roof terrace here, mingling with various nationalities. And the Americans are asking like, does anyone know when the fireworks start? Everyone's a bit confused. Anyway, it transpires that it is the 4th of July, American Independence Day. We're in Morocco. There's maybe like 10 of us all trying to explain to this American couple why they probably don't have fireworks for the 4th of July in Marrakesh, Morocco. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. Stay tuned for more.